Okay, let's unpack this. Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're doing something a little different. Instead of a thick dossier of market research or, a pile of conflicting academic papers, our source material is condensed way down. It's a single, short, almost poetic riddle. It's this handwritten piece of immediate wisdom titled How to Catch a Tiger.
Right.
And this isn't a deep dive into zoology, of course. Our mission is to treat this incredibly dense, short text as a kind of strategic shortcut.
Mhm.
It defines the necessary mindset, the non-negotiable approach you need for any high-risk, high-reward endeavor.
What's fascinating here is the brutal efficiency of the language.
Yeah.
I mean, when a text is this minimal, every single word carries the weight of a chapter.
For sure.
It's structured as a paradox where the answer to the tactical, the steps, the bait, the equipment, is immediately revealed to be something else entirely.
And precondition.
Exactly. A crucial precondition focused entirely on survival. It just bypasses all the complexity of execution and jumps straight to the only thing that matters.
Preemption.
Preemption.
So let's start with that setup, the initial question. How to catch a tiger.
Okay.
This gives us a really clear objective, right? The catch. But the source's implication is that the tiger is instantly two things at once.
It's the prize.
It's the ultimate prize, the successful achievement, but it's also the ultimate danger.
Right.
This is not like trying to catch a common house cat. This is an existential scenario where success is a massive win, but failure. Failure is total, catastrophic loss.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, that duality, that dual identity of the prize is what forces you, the listener, to change your calculus.
How so?
Well, the text immediately frames the situation so that the method of catching the tiger is secondary. It's less important than the consequence of failure.
So the focus isn't on the reward?
Not at all. It's on the penalty of defeat.
Hmm.
The goal isn't defined by success, but by preventing your own annihilation.
That shift in framing is huge. It takes the typical motivation, the glamour of the prize, and replaces it with the cold reality of risk management. For instance, in a critical business negotiation, the tiger might be signing that massive contract. But the danger, the downside, isn't just failing to sign it.
Right.
It's signing a contract with hidden liabilities that could bankrupt your company.
Exactly. What stands out is that we are pursuing something intrinsically capable of consuming us, not just rejecting us.
When you enter a hyper-competitive market or you take on a huge creative project, the risk isn't just that you won't finish.
No. The risk is that the market forces, or even the internal complexity of the task itself, just overwhelms your resources, your morale, your whole capacity.
That's the tiger catching you.
That's it. So the preparation you do to stabilize your finances, secure your team, modularize the project, that isn't just about ensuring the catch. It's about building a defense against the problem consuming the solver.
I wonder, though, does the maxim make the stakes too high? I mean, if failure is defined as existential, wouldn't that just discourage ambitious pursuits? Shouldn't we embrace some risk?
Well, that raises an important question, but the text is actually highly pragmatic.
Yeah.
It's not saying don't take risks. It's saying know your failure condition. If you're preparing to enter a highly competitive field, let's say launching a new fintech app, the failure condition isn't defined by a slow adoption rate.
Right. That's just a setback.
It's defined by the point where the larger established competitors can crush you instantly. A pricing war, a regulatory move. The maxim compels you to define your defense against that existential threat first.
The size and speed of your preparedness has to match the ferocity of the worst-case scenario.
You've got it.
So the catch is only worthwhile if you've already guaranteed your survival from the worst possible outcome.
Yes.
That structural insight brings us perfectly to the next idea, where the text delivers the entire methodology in a single, powerful statement. The source is absolutely direct. It states, before a tiger catches you is how to catch a tiger.
And that single sentence is the entire solution. It's a brilliant conceptual move. It completely reframes the term how.
We expect a list of steps.
We expect a tactical methodology, step 1, step 2. But we receive a definition of timing and awareness. It's prescriptive in its timing, not its technique.
It tells you when to operate.
Which then dictates what techniques you can actually use.
This is a huge distinction we need to dwell on. We're talking about the difference between a tactical how, like using a specific type of net, and this preemptive strategic how.
Right.
So if I'm preparing for a major presentation, the tactical how is making great slides and practicing my cadence.
Sure, the standard stuff.
But the preemptive how is realizing I have to get key stakeholder buy-in before the presentation day. Otherwise, my perfect delivery becomes totally irrelevant when the objections hit.
Precisely. The successful process, according to this source, is inherently the act of securing your survival state. The timing isn't just a factor.
It is the method.
It is the method. If you look at it through the lens of modern project management, say developing a new piece of complex hardware, the catch is delivering the final product. But if you haven't meticulously executed quality control and stress testing before the final deadline, the product fails spectacularly in the field.
And that failure is the tiger catching you.
That's it. The method, the how, was ensuring that failure condition was preempted by disciplined early action.
This raises a counterintuitive point again, though. Doesn't this deep focus on preemption and preparation sometimes discourage, the necessary spontaneity or agility required in modern projects? If we have to wait until every single risk is neutralized, we'll never ship anything.
That's a fair challenge, but strategic timing isn't about being slow. It's about defining and executing the absolute non-negotiable preconditions.
Okay.
When we talk about agility, we often confuse speed with recklessness. The maxim demands that the critical foundation, the base camp, if you will, must be secure.
You can be spontaneous in the upper atmosphere, but not when you're securing your oxygen supply.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The battle is strategically won by controlling the conditions under which the execution takes place. The catch occurs in the foresight, long before the dramatic confrontation.
So the ultimate aha moment here for anyone trying to acquire high-level knowledge quickly is realizing that the solution isn't acquiring more external knowledge. It's not a more advanced trap design.
Well,
It's securing internal readiness and impeccable timing. It's the difference between studying 100 market case studies and making sure your own internal reporting framework is robust enough to spot the warning signs.
before they become existential threats.
Yes.
And that's exactly why this short text acts as such a powerful shortcut. It cuts through all the noise of tactical advice. If your preparation is perfect, the execution becomes almost trivial.
And if your preparation is flawed,
No brilliant execution will save you.
let's move our analysis now to the structure of the maxim itself. Why is this specific format so incredibly effective for a listener seeking quick, profound knowledge? The text is a loop. Question: how to catch a tiger? Leading to the survival condition. Before a tiger catches you is how. And then it reinforces the original goal to catch a tiger. That repetition forces a cognitive shift.
It's rhetorical genius. It's a highly efficient system for teaching a complex concept because it respects your time by skipping all the tactical noise.
Right.
Think about someone trying to master a new language. The catch is fluency. The tactical advice is endless. Use this app, watch that movie, travel here.
And the tiger catching you?
Is burnout, frustration, and quitting.
Ah.
The maxim shifts the focus. The how to achieve fluency is by establishing a baseline commitment and a routine that ensures you never reach that quitting point.
So the structure just directs all of your attention to the critical prerequisite, the point of vulnerability.
Instead of the complicated details of the goal itself, that simplicity makes the insight incredibly sticky and, well, universally applicable.
We can ground this even further in a pretty low-stakes example. Imagine you're preparing for a critical job interview. The catch is landing the job. The tactical steps are researching the company, shining your shoes, having good answers.
Sure, the usual prep.
But the tiger that catches you might be accepting a mediocre offer out of sheer desperation.
Because you didn't manage your runway or apply to enough backup companies.
Exactly. The real how for getting that job isn't delivering a perfect answer. It's securing your leverage before the negotiation even begins.
It's about having a full pipeline of opportunities.
So that desperation, the thing that makes you vulnerable, is neutralized. You win the negotiation by ensuring that their failure to hire you is irrelevant to your overall professional success.
That's a perfect illustration. The source encourages critical thinking by forcing us to reevaluate the premise of the question.
Yeah.
We walked in asking for a map to the goal, and the maxim insisted we secure our parachute first. It shows that sometimes understanding and neutralizing the risks
The tiger catching you.
is exponentially more critical than optimizing for the goal, the catch.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener, operating in a world just drowning in data?
It means your strategy for mastering a new field or synthesizing complex information has to be focused on ensuring you are never overwhelmed.
The how of knowledge acquisition.
is mastering the framework and the structure before the information overload catches you.
Yeah.
If you allow the sheer volume of data to paralyze your ability to organize and act,
Yeah.
you have already been caught.
You need to build the information architecture before the floodwaters rise.
That's it.
It's the ultimate form of strategic minimalism, really. It shifts the burden of success away from executing some complex, fragile action plan
Yeah.
and places it squarely on achieving a robust, non-vulnerable state of readiness.
Well said.
So to recap, the core takeaway from this deep dive, we started with a short maxim and learned that the how of achieving any high-stakes goal is fundamentally linked to the when of preparation and preemption. The most effective technique isn't complicated. It's simply ensuring you are never vulnerable to failure in the first place. Success isn't defined by the dramatic action you take.
No.
It's defined by the quiet, disciplined effort you put in long before that moment ever arrives.
Knowledge is power, sure, but applied knowledge strategically leveraged for survival, that's what counts.
Right.
This maxim is a reminder that success is cemented not in the final act, but in the long, careful process of anticipating the exact moment when the risk might turn the tables.
So if you feel like you're just waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike.
You have likely already missed the window for true strategic victory.
Okay.
And here's a final provocative thought for you to carry forward. If How to Catch a Tiger is about preemption, what major project, what negotiation, or what massive learning curve in your life right now are you treating like a tactical execution problem, when you should be treating it as a timing problem? When precisely are you going to start preparing before the tiger catches you?